In this video, I'm going to show you how you can easily create a model quality check dashboard like the one you see on the right here. It's actually very simple. All you need to do is come over to the settings in the Vyssuals Revit connector and make sure that Include File Statistics is turned on. Now for demonstration purposes, I'm going to clear my charts here and then start Vyssuals. It's going to load the model. And once it's done, you can come over to Templates, and then in the Global Defaults section, you can check Model Quality Check, and it will bring up a dashboard like this. So, what do you see here? You have some insights on file sizes, you can see in-place families, you can see stuff about warnings, warning-free elements, line style counts, line patterns, fill patterns, model groups, how many instances of each group you have, and information about detail groups. So let's start by looking at the in-place families, for example. So in-place families are something that you shouldn't really be modeling in Revit, but sometimes it's unavoidable. Essentially what it is you can create arbitrary geometry and assign a category to it. And that might be needed in some cases, like for example down here, this pink thing is supposed to be a stair, and I can already imagine why this was modeled as an in-place component, because when you know Revit stairs, it's quite hard to get this kind of an angle to a stair landing. So in this case, it might be okay that this is an in-place model. The other ones up here, for that we probably need more context. They seem to be walls, so I'm going to click on this chart here, and then down here at the Revit display section, I'm going to uncheck isolate elements to bring back the context, and I can see these could probably be modeled as wall sweeps. Have a little bit of an angle to drain water on the upper side, and then a recess here. Yeah, maybe this would have been better as a wall sweep, or maybe even not, because this wall has a profile to it and the wall sweep might not follow this this upper bound of the wall. So I guess in this case this is okay, and I would give this a pass. So next we can look at some warnings, and I'm just going to turn on the warnings, or the color overrides for the warnings, and let's look at this thing here. So this seems to be, when I hover over this, you can see that it's bringing up more information down here in this context table, and I can even click on this to see the actual elements that are affected by this warning. I could also click on a different bar here to see that it selects the elements in Revit and also brings up more information about this. So let's keep going with this one. Highlighted walls overlap, and it's pretty clear that this is this issue here. I have fixed this one before, so I know that this has to be set to disallow join. And once we have that, thanks for a bit, once we have that, we can take the trim and extend tool, take this face, and trim this element to it. Vyssuals thinks for a bit, it updates the dashboard, and you can see that that warning is gone, but as you can see, this wall seems to have a different warning attached to it as well. We're not going to deal with this right now here. Okay, next up, let's talk about this warning-free elements chart. This chart is a rule chart. It is using all categories, so it's not restricting to show only walls or doors, for example. It's really looking at the full model. We can also turn on the colors for this one and see the elements that are affected. Yeah, and the way you set up a rule chart is by just adding a rule here. So in this section you can add a rule. In this case it is looking at the warning text parameter, and that is set to equals no warning. So that's the value that elements with no warning have in Vyssuals. And This is testing whether that's true or not. If it's true, the element is green. If it's not true, the element is red. So a very simple test, yes and no, does this thing have a warning or not? And it allows you to get a high-level overview about your model. Next thing we might want to talk about is all these counts here. So line style counts, line pattern counts, fill pattern counts. They are related to all those additional settings here in Revit, the line styles, line patterns, and fill patterns. These can get very messy when you import a lot of AutoCAD drawings. If you have families that you download from the internet, and then these numbers will go up and up and up. Mostly I don't worry too much about the counts of the fill patterns and line patterns. This is more of a management issue where your users can choose the wrong line style or the wrong fill pattern, and then all your plan graphic gets messed up. I wouldn't worry too much about this. It's always good to keep an eye on it, and if you see it spiking, then definitely go in yourself or send someone into the model to check this. But yeah, as I said, don't go too crazy on those metrics. And maybe as a last one, the model group counts and the detail group counts. A lot of detail groups and a lot of model groups can slow down a model quite significantly. It's always good to use as little groups as you can get away with. Don't treat them like blocks in AutoCAD, where you would just take a full story and make it a block just because you can. In Revit, that's not a good idea because it doesn't check if your edits are possible until you hit finish. And if you're like working on a big floor that is in one group that doesn't even repeat, you're just asking for trouble pretty much. Yeah, this is the easy way to do model quality dashboards. They're live connected to Revit and give you a super easy overview over your model quality. Hope you found this helpful. See you next time.